We are back. Vandy and Ole Miss go at it Saturday here in Nashville. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. The game is on SEC Network. And earlier today, our own Billy Derrick over there caught up with Vanderbilt head football coach Clark Lee. Here is that interview.
Coach, you got Ole Miss coming to town, another SEC opponent. They are another top 10 team, 5-0. You guys sitting at 3-2, of course, coming off the bye week. Had 2 weeks to prepare for this matchup, 3 o'clock Central Time at First Bank Stadium. Bye weeks are always interesting. I know different coaches have different approaches. Of course, you just mentioned to me before we started here, it was good to get healthy. So was that one of the bigger things you guys were able to accomplish?
Yeah, we early here in the year, we think we've positioned ourselves well. We've also, been going for a while because we played week 0, so it was time for a little break, and we wanted to. The guys that have had a lot of exposures as far as reps go, we wanted to make sure we were in our bye week practices being mindful of getting their legs back underneath them, and given some of the players that haven't had as many reps, getting them more work. We were able to do that. We were able to get guys back healthy that we need to build our depth, and then we've had some 3 really spirited days of work here this week, where I felt like we've tapped into our identity, and now it's kind of the scaling down and the preparation for the game. So I'm pleased with where we are. We have a big challenge ahead in Ole Miss, but that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to watching these guys go out there and compete.
Specifically at the running back position, Coach, of course, Ray Davis has been the bell cow, and I'm sure he might have liked to have a couple other guys there behind him in that running back room, maybe for a little bit of rest. You get Rocco Griffin back, you get Patrick Smith back as well. Not sure how much those guys are actually going to be able to play, but of course it's got to be good for Ray to actually give him a little bit more rest than he's had.
Yeah, well, Ray's a competitor, and I think that he would take every carry in the game if it was up to him, and so would the other 2 guys, and that's what you want. You want guys that are hungry to be out there and to help to impact winning. But certainly for us as an offense, that's 3 really good weapons that give us opportunities in personnel and formation to add a little more stress to the opponent, and having them back healthy. And now, again, particularly with Rocco being having a 3rd week now where he's back and confident and healthy, it gives us a chance to explore kind of how we can help the offense run and the team win.
Coach, A.J. Swan a couple weeks ago in Tuscaloosa ended up playing him the whole game. Was that something you guys before the game wanted to try to do with A.J. to say, hey, listen, and we know it's on the road, we know it's Alabama, but was that something you guys really wanted to accomplish with him to kind of experience that?
Well, early on his time as a starter, we wanted to make sure that he felt ownership over the position and that he could learn through his mistakes. I didn't want him, feeling like he was a part of rotation or even that he wasn't able to go out there and make mistakes and that somehow that would get him pulled out of the game. Every rep he takes as a true freshman is experience, the building of experience, and so anytime you play a freshman at any position, you're gonna have to have some patience because they're gonna have to learn on the move. And AJ happens to be, as a competitor, mature young player that I've never seen the moment get too big for him. I've never sensed that he's backing down from the biggest stages. If anything, his consistency is what has delivered him to this point. And so we wanted to give him a chance to work through issues, to learn from the experience, and he'll be better for it.
Coach, you said you like where you are right now coming out of the bye week. Go a little bit deeper in that. What do you like most about where your team is right now mentally, but also physically, of course, because almost halfway through the season, health I think is the most important thing.
Well, we've been able to get some guys back here in the last 2 weeks that will help us sustain through the season. When you have injuries, it's not just about the loss of a player, it's about the tax on the other players too, because you're not rotating as many people through. And particularly when you play against a team like Ole Miss that has a high-tempo offense, you're going to look to get as many people on the field as you can, and we're going to have an ability to do that. And so that's a plus. And then, being 3-2, obviously we've lost 2 games, disappointing performances on our end, but to 2 good teams that we can learn from and grow through those experiences. On the whole, I feel like the team is in a way different position this year than it was a year ago. Our best football is still out in front of us, and Vanderbilt controls a lot of what happens down the road. We have to continue to focus on our improvement and our progress. We can't sit back and make any assumptions, and each week we're going to be tested and challenged, and the margins are very thin for us. But it's exciting to be positioned where we are and to feel like, as we continue to get better, that the results will follow as well.
Coach, Ole Miss leads the SEC in rushing. They got a couple of guys that could be the best duo in the conference. You talked yesterday in your press conference about the different ways they like to establish the run and kind of surprise you, keep you on your heels. So what is the challenge for that in defending a heavy run style offense like the way they are?
Well, you face different modes or methods for an offense to attack you, and over the course of a career, you see run games like Armies and Navies that the tactics are really challenging, and then you see some teams that are spread in tempo, and it challenges you in different ways. This is a team that has 2 really good tailbacks, also a quarterback who has been effective as a runner as well, and they will use him in critical situations to run the ball. I have a lot of respect for their offensive design. I think it's like by any means possible is the way they approach it, and that's how they're going to score points, and that's how they're going to accumulate yards and convert first downs. So between those 3 people, you're going to be taxed in terms of the strategies, but also you throw the tempo involved in that, and it softens you. And so we have to be focused in each moment to be where we need to be, when we need to be there, with the right demeanor to tackle, because these guys are going to have the ability to break tackles, and certainly if they catch us on our heels off a tempo drive, they're going to be able to score touchdowns. And it's a unique challenge, but again, as a competitor, it's one that you look forward to because we want to play against the best when they're at their best.
Returning home for an afternoon kick at First Bank Stadium, you talked about yesterday how you haven't really liked the way your guys have played at home. There's more out there for the team to play in front of the home crowd. A lot of alums coming back, of course, more of a homecoming weekend. Does that add a little bit of excitement, energy, type of buzz around this program heading into an SEC opponent on Saturday?
Yeah, it's not something we spend a lot of time on just because we're focused on the play that's on the field, and yet we'll draw energy from that because any player or any team does. We want to put together a high level performance in front of our home crowd and in our home stadium, and that's what I'm referencing. Being disappointed. It's not. We've been too inconsistent at home, and I thought against Elon we put together a really good first half, and then just didn't play true to form in the second half. And against Wake Forest, we allowed them. I loved the spirit that we came out with in the game, but we allowed them to create distance between us based off turning the ball over. And I would like to see this team come out and play to an identity. To be a tough and high effort team for 4 quarters, and to really take control of all the things that we have control over, and that's our own performance. So let's execute ball security. Let's see if we can get Ole Miss turned over. Let's see if we can gain possessions for our offense. Let's see if we can control the game offensively and convert on drives and extend drives and score points. And then next thing you know, you're in a tight game late, and that's when we're going to call upon that home crowd to give us the advantage. But it's an exciting thought, an exciting vision. We got work yet until we're putting the ball down, but we'll be fired up to play this game.
The Ole Miss Rebels rolling into Nashville for a 3 o'clock kick on the SEC Network. This is Coach Lee of Vanderbilt football. Coach, thanks for taking the time.
Great to be with you.